friends, in this video lecture we will discuss congenital heart diseases. Congenital heart diseases are group of disorders where structural and functional anomalies of heart are generally present since birth and the cause is mostly genetic. So it occurs due to faulty embryogenesis from 6 to 8 weeks of gestation. It affects around 4 to 50 per 1000 live births. It is more common in premature and stillborn male. Less than 1% are due to environmental influences like maternal rubella, which is associated with patent ductus arteriosus, tetralogy of Fallot and ventricular septal defect. So there are various genetic defects which may result in congenital cardiac diseases, like in Holt-Oram syndrome, where affected gene is TBX5 and it is associated with atrial septal defect, ventricular septal defect and conduction defects. DiGeorge syndrome, affected gene is TBX1, which is associated with cardiac outflow tract defects. Apart from these examples, even Down syndrome is commonly associated with atrial septal defect and ventricular septal defect. So these are the few examples. So shunt is an abnormal communication between the chambers of heart or blood vessels. So congenital heart diseases generally fall into three categories. Number one, left to right shunt, that is blood is flowing from left side of heart to the right side. Second category, right to left shunt, where blood is flowing from right side to left side, or obstructive anomalies, where there is outflow obstruction, like in case of valvular stenosis and other diseases. So let us take first category, left to right shunt. Most common in this category is the ventricular septal defect, accounts for 42% of the cases. Second most common is atrial septal defect. Then patent ductus arteriosus and atrioventricular septal defect. So let us first take atrial septal defect. And in embryogenesis, first there is development of septum primum, then septum secundum, and if the development is normal, ultimately there is a membranous flap which covers the foramen ovale. So whenever the pressure of left atrium rises, this membranous flap causes the foramen ovale, preventing flow from the left side to right side. But if there is any septal defect, the membranous flap will not cover the foramen ovale, and if the pressure of left atrium rises, blood will flow from the left side to right side. So in atrial septal defect, 90% of the cases are of secundum type, result from a deficient or fenestrated oval fossa near the center of atrial septum. Primum anomalies account for 5% of ASDs, occur adjacent to the atrioventricular valve. Sinus venosus defects are located near the entrance of superior vena cava, and generally cases of ASD are asymptomatic before the age of 30. Second, ventricular septal defect. It is mostly associated with the other anomalies, for example tetralogy of Fallot. Clinically, approximately 50% of the small muscular ventricular septal defects flows spontaneously, while large defect in membranous part or infundibulous part, that is below the pulmonary valve, produces significant left to right shunt, leading to the right ventricular hypertrophy and pulmonary hypertension virtually present since birth. So this specimen shows large defect in ventricular septum, that is in membranous part. Second category, right to left shunt, also known as the cyanotic congenital heart diseases, that includes tetralogy of Fallot, transposition of great vessels, truncus arteriosus, tricuspid atresia, total anomalous pulmonary venous connection. Most common and most important is tetralogy of Fallot, which results embryologically from anterosuperior displacement of the infundibular septum, and as the name suggests, it has four components. One, ventricular septal defect, aorta that is overriding the ventricular septal defect, pulmonary stenosis, and four, hypertrophic right ventricle. Morphologically, heart is often enlarged and may become boot-shaped if there is marked right ventricular hypertrophy. Clinically, even if untreated, some patients with tetralogy of Fallot survive into adult life. The severity of clinical presentation generally depends on the level of pulmonary stenosis. If it is mild, the shunt is left to right without cyanosis, resulting also called as pink tetralogy. While if the stenosis is severe, the shunt is right to left, resulting in cyanosis, also called as classical tetralogy of Fallot. Third category, obstructive congenital anomalies. That includes coarctation of aorta, pulmonary stenosis, and aortic stenosis. The coarctation of aorta means this type of inward folding of the wall of the aorta, which causes obstruction to the outflow. Plus, 50% of the cases are associated with other anomalies like bicuspid aortic valve, atrial septal defect, ventricular septal defect, mitral regurgitation, and Berry aneurysm.